Hello friends, welcome to another video of Hybrid Academy. Today we learn about QR code and are they safe to use? I'm sure most of us have seen QR codes pasted on many of the shops and product labels, etc. It is simply a square element having many black and white squares arranged in random order. Let's learn what is a QR code and is it really safe to use the QR codes? Please stay connected till the end of the video to know the reality behind the QR codes. It may save you from a lethal attack. Moving forward, let's learn what is a QR code. If we see the technical aspect of QR code, so a QR code or a quick response code is a type of matrix barcode or a two-dimensional barcode invented in 1994 by the Japanese company Denso Wave. A barcode is a simple machine-readable optical label that can contain information about the item to which it is attached. In practice, QR codes often contain data for a locator, identifier, or tracker that points to a website or application. Is it too confusing? I can understand. So to understand this in a layman's language, it is a machine-readable two-dimensional or a 2D code consisting of an array of black and white squares typically used for storing information. This information can easily be scanned or decoded by a smartphone camera and can be used as per its purpose. Let's take an example where you want to share your contact number with your customers visiting your shop or store. Telling them the contact number manually or asking them to save it from the printout pasted in your shop or store is a quite a tiresome job for your customers. QR code makes this job simpler by not only storing the contact number but also encoding other information like your name, address, email ID, etc. Or let's say your complete contact card. Now with this, the customer just has to scan the QR code and click on the save button to save your contact information at one go with no error. So, a QR code can store information in encoded format, not openly visible to everyone, but can easily be scanned using the smartphone camera. Now as we learn that the QR codes can store information, let's see what kind of information can be stored using the QR code. So a QR code or a quick response code can store the following type of information in the encoded format. It can be a web URL or a website address like www.google.com, or maybe your company website, or maybe any other XYZ website, or any website link which you want to share with your customers or with the person scanning the code. This QR code can also save text information. It can store your complete contact card which can have your name, contact number, email ID, address and other relevant information. It can store a complete SMS along with the message and the contact number. It can save only the contact number. It can save the geolocation in terms of latitude and longitude. So in that case, if someone scans this, it will actually point to a location on the globe. It can store the event schedule, which can have the date, time, and what exactly is the event all about. Just like SMS, it can also store the complete email message where it will have the message, it will store the subject and the person who would receive the email or the recipient's email address. And last but not the least, it can also have the complete Wi-Fi information. So if you want to share your Wi-Fi network or your Wi-Fi internet with any one of your visitors to your shop or to your business, you can simply paste a QR code and the person can scan the QR code to connect to the network. This overall makes the job pretty easy in many ways. Now let's learn in more detail about storing all these types of information in a QR code. Starting off with the first type of information, that is the web URL or a website address. So as discussed earlier, a web URL or a website URL can be encoded in a QR code, and anyone scanning the code will directly get the website link to open with no typo error or URL error. This eases the process of visiting a link. Any business owner or individual can share a link via QR code, and the visitor can scan the QR code to visit the link. For example, the QR code on the right is for our YouTube channel. The user who scans it gets the option to visit the YouTube channel as given on the extreme right hand side of the screen. So you can see how easy it is just to scan a QR code to visit a website instead of typing the complete path or complete URL of the website. Text information can also be encoded in a QR code. This may be a serial number of any product, or user instructions, or any other text information you wish to share. Anyone scanning the code will get the text information without any missing letter in case of a serial number. This is mainly useful to manufacturers to embed the serial number of the product in the product label via QR code. For example, the QR code on the right is holding some text information which can be encoded by anyone scanning the code. The user who scans it receives the text information as given on the extreme left hand side of the screen. As discussed earlier, complete contact information of a person or business like name, mobile number, email ID, physical address, website, and any other information can be embedded in QR code. And anyone scanning the code will directly get the option to save the contact. This type of QR code is very useful in case if it is printed on a visiting card or given below the email signature, or even if available on the website contact us page. The viewer can directly scan the QR code to save the contact information. For example, the QR code on the right is for the contact information or V card of Google support. The user who scans it gets the option to save the contact as given in the extreme right hand side of the screen. A complete mobile SMS can also be saved or encoded in a QR code. Such a QR code not only contains the complete text message, but also the contact number where you wish to send the message. This is very useful in case if you wish the scanner to send a particular SMS on a number to avail a service. For example, banks or mobile service provider provide option of activation or deactivation of various services, etc. For example, the QR code on the right contains the SMS to activate DND on a phone. The user who scans it gets the option to send this SMS directly as given on the extreme left hand side of the screen. Further to continue, a QR code can also save or encode a single contact number. In case you do not want to share any other details, just a contact number, which the person scanning the code can directly dial or save as per his or her convenience, this type of code is very useful. Such QR code can be used for missed call services from registered numbers. Like few banks provide service of missed call from the registered number to know the account balance. For example, the QR code on the right is for the contact number of Google. The user who scans it gets a direct option to dial it as given in the extreme right hand side of the screen. Any location on the complete Earth can be recognized via latitude and longitude. These locations can easily be traced via applications like Google Map, Apple Maps, or Microsoft Maps. If someone wishes to share their exact coordinates in a decoded format, it can also be shared via QR code. For example, the QR code on the right contains the latitude and longitude coordinates of Googleplex located in California. The user who scans it gets the option of opening the location directly from the applications as given on the extreme left-hand side of the screen. Lastly, a Wi-Fi connection information can also be stored in a QR code. Usually, restaurants and hotels provide free Wi-Fi to its visitors, and these can easily be shared by a QR code. Restaurants and hotels can provide the connection QR code on their print materials like menu or check-in receipts, etc., and the user can easily scan the code to connect to the network. For example, the QR code on the right is for the Wi-Fi connection information. The user who scans it gets a direct option to connect to the network as given on the extreme right hand side of the screen. So after knowing so much about the QR codes, let's know what are the disadvantages of QR code. Well, as per my information, the only disadvantage of QR code is that they are not accessible to everyone or people are not aware of its usage. Some people do not know how to use them or are simply not ready for this technology. Now let's come back to the original question. Is there any risk from the QR code? Of course, there is a risk in QR code. One of the major risks from the usage of QR code is that a phishing link or unsafe link can be encoded in a QR code, which may harm the device used to scan it. Anyone cannot suggest after looking at the QR code that what are the encoded contents in it, and if someone scans a QR code containing a phishing link or unsafe link, it can be lethal. Most of the users use their phone to scan the QR code. Any unknown QR code may result in a phone hack or may also share all the information stored on the phone with the hacker. Hacker may access phone banking apps or SMS information to access OTP, etc. to harm the user. Scanning a QR code from an unknown source can be lethal and can harm the person scanning it in many ways. To conclude, and from all the information above, we have learned that the QR codes can make our lives easier in many ways. However, it is suggested to only scan the QR codes which are from a legitimate or known source. Scanning a QR code from an unknown source can be lethal and can harm the person scanning it in many ways. Thank you for watching the video. If you like the content, please like the video, share the video and subscribe to our channel. Please do share this information with your colleagues, friends and relatives so that they can also be benefited with this information. Please stay tuned. Hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.